Chairman now recognizes Mr. Webster for 5 minutes.
Thank the witnesses for being here today and your testimony. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Chairman. Appreciate that too. Admiral Barata, the Coast Guard began to ramp up the deployment of unmanned aircraft systems, and I guess it was for a cost-effective approach to provide a persistent airborne surveillance capabilities across the national security cutter fleet, and has validated a mission need for land-based UAS to significantly enhance ocean surveillance in support of the service's operations. How is the Coast Guard currently utilizing drones as a kind of a force multiplier for the agency's law enforcement missions? And how do we hope to see them in the future, use them in the future? How do they use to progress what's already started?
Congressman, good morning. Good to see you as always, sir. So the Big Beautiful Bill gives us quite a bit of funding for all types of autonomous systems, which we kind of break down into long range, mid range, and short range. Some of the short range drones we have found to be great force multipliers at a lot of our local patrol boats and our shore-based units to do any number of things. Especially for instance, where we don't have an air station or we don't have a helicopter or an aircraft available to us to help with search and rescue in some cases, to help with pollution response. When I was the district commander down in the Heartland district, we had a wellhead that had let loose and it was spilling oil. And we worked with NOAA to put drones in the air to kind of reposition the boom, as the oil was spilling and it was progressing into the marsh to protect sensitive areas. So if you think about just a local unit, arriving in a government vehicle and not having the ability after, for instance, on the Mississippi River, where there a number of barges maybe have crashed and sunk, to kind of put a drone in the air and take a look and see, what the expanse of that is, what the damage looks like to the bridge and other things. Those are the type of things that if we put this technology in the hands of some of our innovative young people who are really excited about this, we have a program where we actually, we qualify folks from the unit, and so many of these units these kids are volunteer, and there's 8 or 10 kids at a time who are, I say kids, these are petty officers who are 27. They're much younger than me. So, but they're taking the ball and running with it, and we're pretty excited about that capability.
So they're in the air and they can see, and you can see, and what's going on. Is there more to it than that? Is there more than just reconnaissance by them, or is there some other use?
No, Congressman. We're using it to inform our operations, and so for us, awareness informs the operational commander and allows us to deploy assets, change tactics, reach out to agencies in some cases, or even call assets off if we can determine that, hey. For instance, we get a lot of false reports about things. Hey, maybe there's a kayak floating out in the middle of the bay. Instead of launching a helicopter, we might be able to launch something like a drone. Look and see that it's something that's just a piece of flotsam that's not really has somebody on it, and kind of discount that as a SAR case.
So, how would the development of a robust UAS program allow the Coast Guard to better accomplish its mission, multi-part mission, actually?
Congressman, it's going to reap us untold benefits. I think we've talked about the far reaches of the Pacific. We've talked about vessels trying to track those things. We are using our autonomous systems in any number of ways. One of our programs called Coastal Sentinel, which is going to be an array of radars and ISR systems. It's going to have unmanned waterborne systems, air systems. That's going to allow us to have pervasive maritime domain awareness, and understand the threats that are on the border, conduct search and rescue, sea pollution spills, all of these things. And so for us, that is the future, and what we want to do is allow those systems to do some of the work where we might not need a human being, and free up the Coast Guard experts to do just what only they can do. That's our goal.
Director GOA report, it concludes that while there's kind of intended to be a short duration, the Coast Guard has sort of surged operations to counter maritime migration and surges for 3 years. To do this, they've reallocated vessels and aircraft, personnel. What's the long-term solution?
Please answer quickly. And,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to say Mr. Proud. Rear Admiral Barata. Yes, you're right.
go ahead and answer.
Okay. I think if I heard you properly, you've been talking about the surges and the Coast Guard efforts related to that. I think each of the Coast Guard efforts in times of surge, whether it's a migrant surge or a response to drug flow, just recognizing that there are trade-offs among these missions, and as the Coast Guard turns its efforts to one, something is happening in the other area, and being able to understand the impact of those efforts on the other missions is an important effort for the Coast Guard. Thank you.
Thank you. Now recognize the ranking member of the subcommittee, Mr. Carbajal, for 5 minutes.